All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to session 13 of Planescape, The Weight of Doors. Who would like to give a recap?
We decided to go find Sarah Velmora to find out why she was telling us that there was violence in the streets when apparently there isn't. We went to the place where she was staying, but it turns out she wasn't there. Instead, she left a letter for us with the bartender. And the letter said she was called away to investigate something and that she expected she would be back in a week. The bartender apparently has like a portion of our payment if we solve everything, which doesn't necessarily seem like we're going to have everything solved in a couple days, but at least we had somebody to talk to. Uthermath managed to insult the bartender by asking an innocent question that anybody would ask. Uh, but otherwise, we got our letter and then I forget where we went after that. I'm not sure if we went to talk to Hoolister immediately after that. We probably did, I guess.
I thought
But
Booster was the end of the session.
Um, yeah, Hoolister was kind of towards the end of the session, I think. Um, wait, what? Okay,
then
wait.
I'm blanking on where we went next because I thought we had like a plan. We talked a lot about like where to go next. I thought we had decided that we had discussed different ways to like, because we're still waiting on getting those clothes to talk to Krug Manathis again. And we decided that in the meantime, we were going to go talk to Hoolister. And Cadeau convinced Dobrin that Dobrin should just go and apologize.
With
Cadeau,
cheese
uh,
soup.
right, which I think we
Yeah, don't go
got at the
empty-handed.
place, right, which I think we got the soup at the place where Sareth Valmora was supposed to be staying.
Mhm.
But Cadeau disguised himself as somebody from the neighborhood and went and knocked on Hoolister's door. And Dobrin started to apologize, at which point Cadeau excused himself, seeming to just be a random person from the neighborhood, which,
He immediately started asking questions, and Cadeau knows better. Just leave at that point. I got nothing else. Just leave.
Stand out.
right. And since this was like an awkward social situation, Uthermath decided, oh, we could just go. Okay. And so he followed Cadeau, leaving Chaz and Dobrin behind. But they did manage to successfully placate Hoolister, who saw that they had brought cheese soup, and so they went in to eat the cheese soup. And Hoolister explained that he was actually a spy. I forget for who, but he was like a spy spying on the Athar. Uh, I don't. I thought he was somehow associated with the signers, so maybe he was a spy for the signers, but he drew out a map for us and told us what he knew about the site, which was that there were like pillars in there that apparently could lure people into touching them and then seemingly zap them away or evaporated them. Still unclear on what was happening to those people. But he gave us enough information that we can probably try to sneak in without necessarily having to go to Krug Manathis, or even if we can't convince Krug Manathis. Uh, After that, all I remember is Cadeau went to the place where they sealed up that building and tried to reconnect to whatever web of communications there is among the uh, between the Lady of Pain and her what are they called? I forget.
Davis.
Yeah,
Dobbs.
the Davis.
And a
Yeah,
vision I did
so
have.
a couple
And
of
he like something was there, so he's about to like get attacked, and he's off on his own, so no one can help him.
I'll be fine.
We learned that the stones have like they have a call or a pull to them,
Right.
so that if we do get near them, like They want to be touched. They want to be found. Um, so, and that even Hoolister, who was critical generally of the Athar, thought they were in the right for being as guarded and protective of the church and what lies therein as they are.
Right. And there was like some talk about like why the signers were interested, so that each one of them can prove that they are the person who's dreaming the universe into existence.
Yeah. So a couple of additional points. So Hoolister was actually a spy within the ranks of the Athar, and he was discovered as a revolutionary leaguer, in part because the Athar are notorious for their spies trying to gather secrets and using those secrets in really manipulative ways. Um, he also mentioned that the stones in the church were blue, which is strange because you guys have actually seen the stones from outside the church, and they appeared to be golden when you saw them. So that is an interesting discrepancy that I think at the very least Uthermeth would have likely noticed. Um, and Kido, he wanted to go back to the site of the Davis because when the Davis were doing their thing, he tried to use his magic to get a sense of what was going on, and in doing so, kind of got a glimpse beneath the curtain, potentially, of the workings of Sigil. And so he wanted to go back and do that, and he spent some time meditating, but then his cranium rat. By the way, have you named the cranium rat yet?
He hasn't told me his name.
Uh,
Cadeau doesn't have a real name. This is just the name that these people know him by.
okay. Uh, the cranium rat took off.
Mhm.
And Kido followed the cranium rat, and he saw the cranium rat just kind of writhing around on the ground. And so he applied his senses there, and that's where we ended last session. So I believe everybody except for Cadeau was walking back to the ubiquitous Wayfarer or
Right.
the
The rest
guttered
of us
wick.
went, no, we were going to the ubiquitous Wayfarer to get rooms,
Yeah.
and Cadeau split off from us. And I forgot, it was you didn't connect to the Dabas network. You, at least not at the building, but your cranium rat ran off and was like rolling on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's where you connected, and something felt like it was coming for you.
Um,
So the rest of you, Uthermeth, Chaz, and Dobrin, managed to make it to the ubiquitous Wayfarer. It is quite busy tonight. Lots of people drinking and eating and being merry. Um, so whatever it is that you would like to do, if you wanted to kind of get a drink, or get some food, or just go right back up to your room, you do see Full Meaner drinking about. um Rian is tending bar. Um and let's see, are there any, is there any, and you do also see Penelope drinking in a corner, sobbing.
Is she the girl behind the bar? That
No,
hooligan?
that's Rian. Penelope is the one whose husband died, but then seemingly is
Oh,
alive again, working for the Harmonium.
So we know why she's sobbing.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. It's only been what an extra day since the last time. How long? I don't even remember.
It was the night before that you had encountered her, and this
Mm,
morning when she brought you the picture that you guys, um, that Kido basically
yeah,
took to memory with the form of the husband.
just in case.
Yeah, I think at one point you guys were talking about using his likeness to try and get into the Harmonium in the barracks, which is their
Mhm.
headquarters.
Yeah, as a just in case. I don't know the guy's voice, so
So I would probably want to just go up to my room.
too many people
I
down
mean,
there.
yeah, and we already had cheese soup, so
Well, you didn't, I don't think.
no,
We
I got cheese soup as well.
we got
Oh,
some
okay.
beforehand. Yeah, we ate
Oh,
there first
yes,
and then brought some to him.
that's right.
We they pre-cheesed
Yeah,
and we post-cheese.
that was the pre-cheese party.
I think Dobrin also would feel a bit socialed out and head up to his room or to our lodgings.
Did we have rooms here already?
I think we have to get different rooms this time. I don't think we knew we were coming back here necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy enough. I think Rian charged 5 jink for the rooms, maybe last time.
Yeah, maybe.
If not, that's what she's charging now.
She like spins a wheel behind the bar.
Tonight it's gonna be.
I am quite tired. The amount of awkwardness has really just taken it out of me. What time shall we meet tomorrow?
Well, I don't know what time Kudo will get here, let alone what time he will get up. But when I rise, I will be in this tavern area.
Hitting the bottle early.
Are you guys each getting your own room?
I assume we would, like we did previously, each share with one other person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Though at the moment there's only three of us, and I don't know how Kudo will find us since he can't like just go knock on doors.
I think it'll be easy. You tell them that they're to expect me, you know. I know how to describe you. It's the big blue guy.
So
And
that's fine. I will do that. I will tell them that I'm expecting Kudo to arrive later.
Okay. She
And
kind of nods and
I will describe the last form I saw him in because who knows?
all right. So she nods and like seems to accept what you tell her and then just kind of moves on to the next patron because it is quite busy.
So yeah, I would just go upstairs to rest.
Chaz, what are you doing? Are you resting, or is there anything that you wanted to do downstairs?
Yeah, I think I'll rest. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So you guys make it to your room, and then at some point, not long after, uh, I imagine Cadeau, you head back to the ubiquitous Wayfarer.
Yep.
Okay.
Um, I think probably once I step through the door, I finally sort of settle on this form mostly, except for like the lower arm of the one hand. That's still sort of like pulsing different colors and shades and whatnot. I just like look around and see if any of the gang isn't down here. And obviously, see nobody.
Yeah. You do notice a couple of people look kind of strangely at your hand, but they don't seem to pay too close of attention, just more of a noting of a curiosity rather than anything.
Sure. Um, I he probably clocks it, but doesn't really care. Um, and move towards whoever the closest, not necessarily serving person, but who I would know to has rooms or would the rooms would be booked with.
Yeah, that would be Rian.
Um, I don't wave. I wave with a normal hand. Uh, big blue guy come through here.
Yeah, you the one he's waiting for?
I would imagine so.
Here. She just kind of very uh kind of abruptly hands you a key and just motions up to the single door that
Right.
leads to all the rooms.
Thank you very much.
Note to self, the security here is terrible. All someone has to do is name what color I am, and they get a key to my room.
They gotta know. I'm a known face in these parts. This is the known face in these
I
parts.
would have described a completely different face to her, though.
This is the face.
But I
Um,
think the last face I saw on you was that like local neighborhood person.
Oh, well, because we waited there for a while, I would have shifted it back.
Okay, then maybe I did describe that face.
I don't need to keep looking like that guy. That's also risky. You can't keep looking like another person that actually exists. That's dangerous. Who am I bunked with?
But then you could do the Spider-Man meme, the hilarious Spider-Man meme, if that guy comes, where you both just point at each other.
Imagine one more changeling shows up at the same like what the or he happens to be a twin.
And he didn't know.
Strange nexus of events brings the guy and his long lost twin and a changeling that looks like him.
I feel like in Sigil, it can't be the first time where it's like, it's my doppelganger from another universe.
You would think
It's
so,
just
but
like the
that's
fifth time that's happened.
yeah, one guy just has one freak occurrence happening over and over again.
I feel like you'd see that like every couple of years, just the amount of traffic that Sigil gets.
I don't know why, but that you guys ever see the movie The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd?
Not
I
that one.
probably have, but I don't
Old
remember.
movie.
Many, many years ago.
There's a guy in there that is like all jittery and he's like starts saying that he's been struck by lightning. Uh, and then he's like stuttering and he finally gets out that he's been struck by lightning 77 times. So I'm just picturing that now. But you open the door, kiddo, and you find Uthermeth inside.
I see. Is he asleep already? Is he a fast asleep kind of person?
No, I would actually probably be like practicing magic. So you would see me sort of surrounded in like a three-dimensional array of arcane sigils where I am sigils where I'm trying to see. Now I'm going the other way. Now I'm mispronouncing the real word because of the name of this city. Uh, but yeah, you would see I'm like attempting to, functionally speaking, like solve simultaneous equations that are hovering in the middle of these sigils.
I was thinking you were entering like the multiverse. That would have been
Like a Stephen Strange type of situation going
yep.
on.
Connecting with other sigils as we speak.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I would step in and be like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
that stinks! Don't do that in here. Come on." Close the door. What you working
Annoy
on?
everybody by like, I'm just studying magic. I think I see ways that I might be able to improve my spellcasting.
I see. Well, and I like just like show him my hand, which is just torn to ribbons, but not bleeding. Well, I touched something. Well,
What?
kind of. Metaphysically, I touched something.
It seems to have physically torn up your hand.
Yeah, it hurts so much.
Can you describe what it is that you touched?
Uh, the city?
I have touched the city many times and it has not done that to my hand.
Yeah, but you haven't done it like I.
I can imagine. In what
She's
sense was your touching of the city metaphorical?
uh, metaphysical.
Metaphysical, sorry.
Um, well, I wasn't in my body. My awareness wasn't, at least. It's like a giant. She's building something, I think,
You mean
or
the
she's
Lady of
working
Pain?
on something. What's that?
Do you mean the Lady of Pain?
Yeah,
And is this related to your seeing the nodes and intersections?
I think so. It's like a it's like a really, 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 really complex magical artifact. The whole city.
And you say it's under construction.
I think so. Yeah. Seems like she wasn't done.
Hmm,
And then I
I wonder.
and then I saw her.
Really, that must have been a dream come true for you.
It, it was a he like the whole shows his hand. It was awesome.
Is she the one who did that to your hand?
Uh no, I don't not her directly, no. I touched like a live wire, but it did this.
Do you believe it will heal?
Yeah, I mean, probably the one on my chest did, and I like roll, like pull it down. There's like this giant scar across his chest. She did that one too.
Getting all sorts of insights into the special interests of Godot.
Oh, because I have this other scar.
Yeah, I think I did this like on accident. I made this character because I know Mike. Mike likes to be sadistic, so I made a sadist, I guess.
Life imitates art, art imitates life.
So I'm getting the impression that you enjoy the pain.
I mean, it's fine. It'll go away eventually.
Well, I hope you are right. I would hate for you to live in constant pain. How
I
did you
wonder
get
what.
the scar on your chest?
When I first got to Sigil, when I was very little, I kind of wandered and ended up here somehow. I don't know how. I must have followed somebody. I don't quite remember. Uh, and yeah, one of the first things I saw when I got here, she was sort of kind of off in the distance. She happened to look my way, and that's when that happened.
And does this thing that she's constructed have anything to do with the church or with the building they sealed?
I don't know. I could try and connect again there, but I got to be careful.
Yes, apparently you must. But that might still be useful. It's something to keep in mind when we get there. Or it
I
could
mean,
be unrelated. Hard to say.
yeah, I mean, whatever it is that I feel like it must have been what demanded the Davas cover that building up. I don't know what it, like I said, it's complex beyond my potential to even comprehend. I'm
Do
not
I have
that smart.
any, out of character, do I have any sense of how long the Lady of Pain has been in control of Sigil? I'm wondering how long this thing has been under construction, and if it's possible she's been doing this for, as long as she's been here, or if it's some recent phenomenon.
I mean, there are many things said about the Lady of Pain, but you've never heard anyone describe anything like what Cadeau is describing in relation to the Lady of Pain. Regarding her control over Sigil, as far as you or anyone else can tell, it forever. She's been here as long as Sigil has been here.
So I would ask, I wouldn't imagine that you could estimate how long this, whatever it was under construction.
Uh, I mean, it seemed like it was the city. So since inception of Sigil, I guess.
I don't know that I am aware of when Sigil began,
I don't think anybody does. Only the Lady Pain knows. Maybe some gods. I don't know.
but you did suggest that it was being constructed as opposed to being repaired or it being upkeep.
I suppose I wouldn't know the difference.
More data is needed, I suppose.
Yeah. And I like scritch the top of the cranium rat's head. Like this little guy helped me find
Like right in the brain.
it.
Right between the lobes. That's the good spot.
Well, um, Don't let me keep you.
I was
And
almost done anyway. I can continue my calculations later.
it really does smell, by the way.
I mean, we all had the cheese soup.
No, the magic smells. I smell
Oh
it.
no, that is cheese farts.
No, I'm familiar with what those are. And yeah, open a window at least. Open part of the window, whatever section of it we can. I don't know. Oh fuck,
There,
dude. Do they not have the ability to vent out a fart? Fuck, dude. What if everybody they better never serve beans in this place?
Nobody does because when you open the window, it smells even worse.
there is one window that is a very slim triangle that you can imagine is part of an octagon. Uh, and so likely you are occupying the same space as seven other rooms.
Right. I'm gonna open that thing.
Now that Cadeau's here, I would just get ready to rest.
All right. So you guys get your rest in, and you wake up the next day and emerge from your rooms. The uh the inn is much quieter, although there are a good number of people that seem to be partaking in breakfast.
Would partake, see if they're eating cheese soup in the morning and avoid it.
None of them appear to be eating cheese soup.
For breakfast? What are you, crazy?
No, you never know with these places. Sometimes they find one hit on their menu and that's all they serve.
That was a different inn. That was the gutter place where we got the cheese soup.
Yeah, the guttered wick.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So it would be like inferior copies of the guttered wick cheese soup for breakfast. But yeah, I will also get breakfast, something simple.
I'll have to wrap my hand probably, but otherwise, yeah, I go down.
Um,
Like, is your hand bleeding? I didn't quite understand the
No,
description of it.
no, it's not bleeding. So it's just like torn open, like down to the muscle, I guess, in some cases.
Not
Um,
bleeding, it's just a giant gash.
yeah, but yeah, there's no blood. So yeah, I wrap it because it's still like an open wound, so I have to like I can't leave it open. It can get infected still.
And you don't know where that rat has been. I
Yeah,
mean, I
it's
guess
been with
you
me.
do know that the rat has been in the sewer recently.
We both were.
Right.
I'm safe.
Um, yeah, so Chaz and Dobrin, you see that Kiddo's hand is pretty mangled as he seeks bandages from the barkeep.
Yo, what did you do to yourself?
I touched the city, I think.
Is that a euphemism?
I don't think so.
What does the city feel like?
I just like show him my hands. Well, you could see the bone right there.
Oh, wow. That's that looks like it could be deadly.
Yeah, it definitely could be deadly. That's for sure. I saw other things. There was no way I could touch those. That would have they would have killed me.
Well, bro, when you go around touching the city, you better have it covered. That's all I'm saying.
It's all right. The Lady of Pain, she was there. I think she helped me. Maybe. It's difficult to say. You can't really read her face at all. So
Wow. Well, the next time just use protection.
I'm doing all right. Just got to get this wrapped.
So you saw the Lady of Pain. Did she see you?
I think so. As far as I could tell, she drew my attention straight to her, forced me to look at her. It was more, I guess, more like a blink, and there she was. But
What does she look like?
perfect. I don't know. I don't know how you describe it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to.
that's what I'm
She's
asking.
she's inscrutable. Let's say that. There's can tell no emotion on her face at all.
She sounds she sounds very mysterious.
Scary.
Well, if that's what she did, then yeah, she would be scary.
She's working on the city. I can tell that much. I don't know what she's doing.
And we have no reason to believe she is doing anything that would be of concern to us in any event. I'm
That's
sure
true.
she has her reasons, and it might be why the city has such a unique connection to portals.
Yeah,
Seems
doesn't have anything to do with our missions, I suppose. Just something for me to take in.
But I would be curious to know if it's connected to the Dabas sealing up that building. I guess I would be curious to know whatever the explanation is for it.
If I find out, I'll
So
let you know.
perhaps you will find other ways to connect to this sense of the city.
yes, it seems like a useful skill if you're going to spend any amount of time here, which we already have and haven't.
You have plenty of other parts she could mangle.
It'll be fine. That's just where I touched.
Then maybe you
Metaphysically.
should continue to use that same hand. If you're going to lose an arm, better to lose the arm she's already damaged.
I'll keep that in mind. Well,
The woman who lost her husband was here last night. I don't know if you had a chance to see her.
Did you?
uh, no, you know what? She was the furthest thing from my mind.
Not that we have much to report to her.
Indeed. What are we doing today?
I
I
thought,
don't know. We still have another day before the suit of clothing is ready. So we could go and do some reconnaissance on the church again.
Yeah,
Verify
maybe
that our reports of the patrol timing is accurate.
indeed.
that would be a good use of time. But why do we need the clothes if we're gonna a go in discreetly?
First of all, they are already paid for. Second, it might make sense to go and try to get Krug Manathis's permission first, so that that way, if we are caught, we are not trespassing on his property.
Ah, so you mean not going into the church, but into the the harmonium headquarters.
No, I meant going and doing reconnaissance around the church to verify the information we got is accurate as best we can. I don't know what we would have to gain going to the Harmonium headquarters before we have the disguise for Cadeau.
Ah, I th thought you meant just to get you mentioned getting permission or maybe getting permission preemptively in case we get caught from Krogman-Athos.
Yes,
Hmm.
after we get the clothes and we can pose, or Cadeau can pose as a wealthy potential buyer, we can possibly get Krugmanathus to give us express permission to go and visit the site. Then, if they will not let us enter on that basis, we may still need to sneak in, but they could not claim that we were trespassing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, let's see if we
Although,
can get eyes on this place again.
if we just want to try to sneak in, I am not opposed to that. It
Still
would
getting his
save a
clothes.
day. Exactly. Since you've already paid for them, you might as well get the clothes.
They could still be useful.
So, just as an FYI, if there are ever times where people want to just kind of fast track through something, like a couple of days, that's perfectly fine. And you guys do have a bunch of options that you could pursue, but if you really just wanted to wait for the close and get those, and that's also something we could do.
I mean, it still makes sense to take the time, take that day, that extra day to do a little bit of scoping out anyways. I'm okay with that. I have passed without trace.
So yeah, that makes the most sense to me. And if we get caught, well, that'd be unfortunate.
Yeah, we just
Make
we're just
more
scoping it
make
out.
more
No,
enemies.
yeah, no big risks. Don't do anything that would get us in too much trouble. Nothing we can't walk away from. Fine.
We should all memorize the map of the church, though.
Is there a map that I can look at?
Yeah, let me try and bring that up. Um, share a screen so you guys can see, and then later on I'll add this to the game. Do you guys see the map?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's the old temple, not or is it the
The old
shattered temple?
church. No, it's the
I
smaller
meant,
map or the up closer
yeah,
map.
I guess sort of, I guess
Yeah.
if it's the old church.
Um, and then yeah, so whenever we came through here that one time, we were like a little bit of a kerfuffle, right?
Hmm. Well, so you went to the church to check it out. There are some places where the walls have been demolished because there was a demolition crew that had come here and they disappeared.
Mm.
Supposedly by touching the stones, the large stones in the church. And through those holes, you were able to see large glowing stones, which you assume are the ones in question. But you also notice that there's a whole bunch of guards around the area. It wasn't around the church though that you fought the Aethar. That was when you were at the Church of Geshtai, because in that moment you don't remember why, but there was somebody that you don't quite recall, just a kind of glimmer of a memory of somebody that couldn't quite approach the church. And then so you try to go to the church, I guess, die, though you guys don't quite remember why you went there. And
Right.
then while you're there, you were assaulted by the Aethar because um they had heard you talking about the church at the ubiquitous Wayfair, and they preemptively decided to try and convince you not to pay attention to what's going on there.
Backfired, which backfired because then we ultimately really wanted to pay attention.
Okay. Well, if ever we want to get like a closer look, we can, make it harder to see us.
I think we should be stealthy to the extent we can. These people guarding the church probably want to kill us.
Um, then as we get a little bit closer, because this is up to an hour. So I guess like before turning any corner that might, put us in view of it, I would cast Pass Without Trace.
What does it look like when you cast that spell?
Um, I think I probably take a second. I stop and let myself. I'm learning to sort of, at least trying to learn to sort of feel the energy of the city here, and so I would try and imbue it with the magic that would sort of turn people's gaze away instead of looking straight at us. Um, the city itself already likes to sort of warp your perspective of it, so I'm just sort of coaxing more of it out.
Okay. So once you cast that spell, seeing the map, what is your guys' approach?
I mean,
I mean,
I think I would ideally expect we would want to come in from the Greystone Street side through that tiny little alley between, well, there's like the Athar guard's house,
yeah, I was gonna
but
say,
there
I think
doesn't, yeah, it looks
Nichols
like the,
Street between the two abandoned houses.
Can you are you able to zoom in at all?
That's this is wait. Uh
To start.
what is okay, hold on. Let me open that properly. I have too many windows open. Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Uh,
So what is the plan?
One thing that I will let you know, I mean, the this is pretty clearly, I mean, it's marked Aethar guards. You've seen, I mean, it's the clearest place where the Aethar guards are, aside from, the perimeter of the church that you see occasionally walking about the church, is this structure where they seem to be present on the roof, like watching above the street. But you suspect that these abandoned houses may also potentially hold some Aethar there as well, at least based on what you saw the first night that you approached the church. In
so I
fact,
mean, having,
actually, with the information that you have from Hoolister, you would know that this building to the northwest uh is occupied by the Aethar, but the building to the northeast is not. And specifically because Hoolister said that it is a condemned building on the verge of collapse.
So then where in the old church, because one of the things Hollister mentioned was there was like a collapsed wall.
Hmm.
Where would that be?
It's right here between that really janky house that's on the verge of collapse and the church. The reason that they don't know about it, though, is because you can barely see it because the wall is collapsed, but it's not completely above ground where it collapsed. There's a small section above ground that's like a hole in the wall, but if you were to actually go through, you would see that entire section of the wall from inside the church is collapsed.
So I sort of agree then. I mean, approaching from Nickel Street from the side with the nearly collapsed house makes the most sense. Although we can get not necessarily like right up next to it, and then I can send my familiar out as long as we're within 100 feet of the church.
Hmm.
But we can essentially hide next to the janky house on the far side away from where we think the Athar are. Or maybe just press our luck and break into the janky house. Because how could that plan go wrong?
Good
Surely
plan.
it stood this long. It won't collapse just because we entered.
I mean, perhaps there are multiple dimensions that are propping it up. Surely not all of them can be janky.
But it would provide a place for us to like rest unseen while I send out my familiar.
And perhaps there would be uh, some way to enter the old church from the house, if it were uh,
Right. I mean, we might be able to, I don't know that this shows windows, so we might be able to either find a back door to the abandoned house or a window that would leave us next to the old church.
I mean, there's definitely a door on the north side of the abandoned house.
Right.
I'm going.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way.
let's do it.
Okay. What is the order in which you enter the house?
Dobrin would go first. Figure if it collapses on Dobrin, or if it doesn't collapse on Dobrin, then it's not going to collapse on anybody else.
Okay. Uh, Dobrin, as you try the door, it opens easily. It's not locked. But give me a dexterity save with advantage.
Do I want to use my one action point? Nah.
Okay.
Final answer.
Uh, so Chaz with the meth and Cadeau, you watch as Dobrin opens the He opens the door to step into the church and immediately falls as there's no floor.
The house.
Um, and you hear uh briefly after his fall, there's a loud splash. So Dobrin, you take 3 falling damage, and you are now uh in, deep water.
I just like looked at Chaz. Did you see that? His trunk was the last thing to go down.
And Dobrin, the reason I gave you advantage on the save is because I figure with your special sight, you might have had a better sense of that space, but clearly the path failed you in this moment, or brought you right where you need to be, just painfully.
Yeah. Is the water just normal water?
Uh,
Is it poo water?
so it is quite dark in the house. Are, there are broken windows and there are some holes in the wall that allow for some light to come within. Uh, the water smells pretty bad, but it's not quite sewage level bad, and it is incredibly murky. No way you would be able to see under it. The few places where light does shine, it is just mirror black.
Okay. I think Dobrin's gonna be trying to find a way out, or see if he could climb up a wall, or if there are
So
stairs.
So across from you, you can see that there is a set of stairs in the set into the wall. The stairs are broken as there's like the support wall uh that would be opposite from the outer wall that it's attached to is not quite there, and the staircase is incomplete. So there's a pretty big gap between like the middle stair and the next stair up. And then you can see that there is a floor above you, but the section of floor right around the door has collapsed.
I'm okay, if not a little wet. I'll
Could be
be
worse, I guess.
I'll be
I
right.
fell down into a sewer. How's that water?
Not sewage, but still unpleasant.
Uh, do you see a way around?
I see some broken steps that will lead me back to the first floor. They seem like the best option so far.
All right.
So, Dobrin, you would need to jump in order to reach the where the stairs continue once you pull yourself from the water and start climbing the stairs. Um, so go ahead and give me an athletics check. Also, just FYI, this is not a veiled check, so you're going to know success or failure immediately. That's only checks that it makes sense for you not to know. Yeah, so you
Nice.
easily bound up. You even managed to clear uh 2 additional stairs.
Slamming into the stair, hears a groan, waits for a second, and then Continues to bound up the stairs.
Mhm. So now you are on the floor, the main floor with the door. Um, the floor is largely intact, minus a maybe a 10 by 20 foot section of floor right by the door. Um, there is a window in the wall that sh is shared by the door that does have ground a floor underneath the window on the inside. Although Dobrin, you do see that it's right on the edge of where the floor has collapsed, so it may not be the most stable spot.
Is there any like large pieces of any doors or large pieces of wood that I could potentially use to cover some or part of the hole?
Give me an investigation or perception check. This isn't necessarily to see what you see, but just as a means of for me to say what might be there.
Perception. Ooh.
So, unfortunately, it seems like this house has been fairly completely abandoned and nearly stripped of everything. So, it doesn't appear like there is any additional objects. Um, and it seems any rubble that might exist would be in the drink.
Well, is there any way into the church? Can we go into this house to find a way in there?
Well, so I think right now only Dobrin is in the house because
I
the
know.
rest of us are staring at a pit
Yeah.
that leads down into the
Watching
water.
him, yeah.
But I mean, part of the plan was to like hide out in the house and send out Keelfu. And then it was suggested that like maybe we could find a way to get to the church through the house. But right now, it's not even clear how Dobrin gets back to the door.
So, Dobrin, as you're looking around the house, you do see that there is another set of stairs. So there is another story. However, the when you look up, that floor is also largely missing, but even more so. There are like near the wall, probably within a foot or two of the wall, there seems to be like a ledge that one could potentially walk on, although it might not be very stable. But it is there. There's a larger section next to where the stairs uh emerge into on that floor. Um, and there appear to be a couple of windows and also at least one large hole in the wall that is at the height of the next floor up.
Hmm.
In fact, let me see if I can get my tablet monitor on and I can kind of draw it out for you guys. Uh, So, in the meantime, what are you guys thinking?
So how far is it from the doorway to like the remainder of the solid first level floor?
About 10 feet.
Trust that floor to jump on it.
I do not think that would be wise. But it might be good enough. If Dobrin wants to leap back, he might be able to cover that distance.
I think I probably can.
It would be ideal if we could get up the stairs to the second level.
There's it is worse than this level.
You guys see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if this work. Mm. Okay, cool. Okay, so here is what I imagine the house is. Here's the door. Here's the window. This section is gone. Uh, there is a set of stairs right here that go to this floor. There's another set of stairs here that go to the second floor. There's also a window here. Uh, then there's second floor. Eh, So here's the stairs. So this space is gone.
Mhm.
And then this is the set of stairs.
I don't think I see a second thing drawn.
Uh, there's a second page. I don't know if you guys need to navigate to the second page.
I see. Yep. See. Gotcha.
So this goes into the drink. This is the window, door. And there's really nothing at all in the on this on any of the floors that you can see. Does that drawing kind of help you guys picture the space a bit better?
Yep.
Cool.
Um, I'll just like look to everyone. I'm like, I know for sure I can't jump past that.
It's only 10 feet.
Uh-huh.
The Vidalkin just called you a pussy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, what do you think I am? Like a long distance jumper?
Neither am I, but I think with a running start, I could cover 10 feet.
I'm not gonna make that.
Do we need to look for a board or something, bro?
Maybe I can get through this window.
That might be safer in any event, since the edges of the floor around the hole are likely to collapse.
Yeah, so I mean I saw this. I don't know if I can ping or not, but uh the one just to the side of this door.
Yeah, so door,
Yeah.
window, and window. And then on the other one, um, window and window. And also, this is the church.
I agree it is wiser to try to shimmy through the window than leap over the gap.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, Before I do anything, I will like take a look around to see if anybody's like watching us.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, thank fuck.
High or
Or I
low, though.
guess, or oh no.
Um,
Either way, I got to roll again, right?
I think just as for moving forward, I will let you know verbally when it's a veiled roll, so that we're not like kind of guessing. This is not a veiled roll, so go ahead and roll again.
That's more
Uh,
like it.
so there is no one on the street. In fact, you do see something. I'm gonna send you a message. Um,
The other option is there is like a smithy and several shops around here. Even if we can't find a 10-foot board, we might be able to find something large enough
Mm-hmm.
that we could buy to put over the hole.
Yeah.
Can't I send a message? Do you guys still see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, there we go.
Ugh.
All right, sent.
So does Dobrin still need like line of sight to see things?
Not necessarily. He can see even through walls.
So long as they're not too thick.
Yeah.
So then you might already be able to sense something about the church. Or if there's something like below the surface of the water.
Yeah, unless they were obscured with magical means.
What's the range of your sight, Dobrin?
30 feet.
30-foot radius?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that the you can see the outer wall of the church. Um, and you would notice that this is the area where that wall is collapsed. Uh, Additionally, Dobrin, go ahead and make me another perception check. So the water that you were swimming in wasn't too deep. It was deep enough that you needed to swim, but you could see the floor below you, and there was a lot of rubble, but not necessarily anything of note that seemed out of place or potentially useful.
Okay. Uh, Dobrin would call out. I think this lead is a dead end.
So I'm going to try to open the window that's next to where we are.
I asked a follow up question.
Yeah, I'm responding right now.
Okay.
Responded. I'm sorry, Luther Math, what was you saying?
I'm going to open up the window or try to on the first floor.
Yeah, it's already broken out, so there's no need to even open it. You would maybe need to knock some of the shards of glass to make it a bit safer. But that might call attention because of the loudness. Although I would also say that that would be dulled somewhat because of the Pass Without Trace spell.
So I would like take off my backpack and like lay it over the sill of the window so that I'm not jabbing myself with broken glass.
What's in your
Uh,
backpack?
uh, let's see. There is a spell book, and I'm wearing that. some thieves' tools, some jeweler's tools, a water skin, rations, candle, paper, and a torch, and some ink some ink. I would take the ink out. I don't want to break the bottle. I'll put it in my pouch.
Uh, I'm trying to picture how a full backpack would be. I mean, you could certainly lay it across the sill, but it seems like it would make it more difficult to try and climb through the window.
All right, so I have two sacks. I'll just use the two sacks.
Okay, yeah, that would work. Um, so let's see, what is the most appropriate way of doing this? You know what? Roll a D100. Okay. You climb through the window. You hear the floor creak dangerously beneath your feet, but it holds.
Yeah, so I'll start moving directly away from the giant hole right next to me. And then make my way over to Dobrin, treading carefully as I can.
Chaz, Kiddo, what are you guys doing?
Cadeau's probably looking in the direction of what he saw. It's like, are you going in? Or looking at Chess.
Oh, I guess, bro.
You don't have
Gosh.
to. I think I'm gonna see some commotion down there. I think I might go check it out.
What do you mean commotion?
I don't know, people gathering for something, around something, towards something. I can't tell. It's too far.
You might need a wingman, bro. And he looks at his hand. I'll have to go with you.
Hey, Uzi, we'll be right back.
Uzi.
I keep walking, wondering who he is speaking to.
All right, before we resolve Kado and Chaz, Uthameth and Dobrin, what are you guys doing in this demolished building? Or
This
near demolished building?
Hmm.
I look back towards the window, then towards the now empty doorway,
just hop across.
wondering why it's taking them so long to make their way inside the building.
Mhm.
And then once I realize that they're not making their way inside the building, I will mutter something, some Vidalcan curse under my breath. Always keep an eye on the kids. And then I'm going to take out Keelfu
Okay.
and let him fly out from the building and fly around to the church. I guess I'd let him fly out the door and see if I could see where those two went first.
Yeah, they're moving towards some kind of commotion that seems to be drawing a crowd.
I guess I would keep an eye on them for the moment then through Keelfu's eyes,
Okay.
keeping them within that 100 feet.
Dobrin, what about you? What are you doing?
Think he would just be trying to exit the building at this point. So he would just seeing one way in and one way out, he would do a
Well,
run.
no, there's another window on the first floor.
Yeah, but he just sees he's focused on the entryway. So he would just jump back across.
So you do have to get a running start to get your like full strength score of long jump.
Yeah. Is there 10 feet of non-broken floor that he could run across?
Yeah. Um,
They're 10 feet of stable enough for an elephant to stomp on it floor.
so you're gonna roll me athletics and well, wait a minute. What is your long jump distance?
I mean, I have a strength score of 16, so
Okay, so you can clear 16 feet with a running start.
yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't need a check then to
Yeah.
get to the door.
Yeah.
Um, but you do need to roll a percentile. Higher is better.
Wow. That's
Okay.
strikingly mid.
Uh, so you jump from the ledge to the door. Your large frame does make it a bit of an aiming issue, but you trust in the path and you follow its way and you make it through the door with ease.
It's an elegant elephant jumping through the air.
Surprised the house didn't collapse. Now, where did Uther go?
Oh, you felt the floor moving with each step. And you're pretty sure as you leapt that had you taken one more step or uh had your foot landed only a few inches different from where it did, you would have fallen right through that floor as you tried to jump to the door. Um, so Kiddo, Chaz, Dobrin, as you follow this throng of people, you hear them talking quite anxiously. Uh, it seems that there's been a body found. Uh, Now, this being the lower ward, people do die. Like it's not unheard of, but it's not like the hive where bodies are just kind of regularly come up and people like are callous to it. Um, Godot, as you follow the throng of people, you notice more and more that it seems to be heading in the direction of where you had your vision. And indeed, it seems to be like you push through the onlookers and eventually you do see a couple of hardheads on the scene investigating, holding people back. But there is a body and it is in the exact spot where your cranium rat was writhing on the ground.
Okay. Does the body look familiar?
No.
Well, there's that at least.
I was sort of hoping it was Cadeau, and he's like, this is just his ghost now that's been came back to the inn.
It's actually
Right.
the person Cadeau posed as at the end.
Yeah, I was like, I don't. Yeah, I think it's not like one of the people I have impersonated at some point.
No, it's somebody that you don't recognize.
The hard heads are which one?
Harmonium.
Ammonium.
One of them is, in fact, Job, Penelope's husband, who
Right.
died,
Um,
supposedly.
right. What's he look like right now? Maybe like an insight
How do
him?
you mean?
I mean, does he seem sort of lifeless, or does he seem animated, like he's a real boy, or animated as in risen corpse style?
So you're trying to determine if he's actually undead?
Yeah. I mean, if he looks undead in some way, like it in whatever obvious way it's possible to tell, and from a distance. I figured it would just be like an insight type of thing, or if he otherwise just seems sort of like brain dead, it just following orders, not responding to anybody, not reacting to noises you would expect.
That I'll just tell you, you don't need to check for that. He seems to be operating on his own faculties and senses. He's not
Okay.
just mindlessly taking orders and executing directives.
Well, I mean, I'll point him out to Chaz. Hey, look, it's that guy.
What's his name again, bro?
Um,
Job?
Job. Yeah.
I just call out to him, Job, bro, over here.
He does not respond.
I say it louder. Obviously, you can't hear me. Try to enunciate. Job, bro.
Okay, you and Kiddo can both give me insight checks.
Very insightful.
All right. So I mean, he definitely hears you and he looks in your direction, but it doesn't seem to be out of any kind of recognition and more annoyance at people just shouting at a
Right.
crime scene.
Hmm. Hey, let's see. Do we know that Cadeau is a changeling? Yeah, we do, right?
Yeah.
We know that he changes shapes.
Right. Yeah, true, true, true. I don't. Bro, do you remember what Penelope looks like? Bro, you could go around the corner or you could do something like whatever and look like her and see if he does anything, bro.
I mean, just like take a step back behind some people. There's a group, there's a crowd being drawn here.
Hmm.
It's like just take a kind of step back and I can try. I don't. She already tried talking to him, but I'll sort of like change to look like her,
Okay. Yeah, I
like
mean,
this.
you do a good job at like kind of making sure that people aren't noticing, but also you're still under the effects of the pass without trace spell.
Yeah,
So you're certain that nobody notices you change.
mainly just him.
At
Um,
this point, Dobrin would join the two of you.
oh, aren't you with Uthermeth?
Thought he was with you.
He he crawled through the window.
I didn't see him. I jumped
You
out the door.
got to get your eyes checked.
He just looks at you through the blindfolds.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know if that blindfold's working, bro. There wasn't any floor there. You fell right through it.
I was distracted
By the blindfold?
by cheese soup.
Whoa.
I mean, I didn't think it was that good, but all right.
It is better than meat hunts. But if Uthermath is stuck in that house, then I best go back.
And I was
Please
like, I would put the meat chunks in the cheese soup.
don't be sacrilege.
I mean, seeing that they're like now melding into that crowd, I assume this is like more than 100 feet away.
Yeah.
I would bring Kyofu back and have him instead start like flying around the old church.
Okay. Uh, give me an investigation check with advantage.
Let's see.
Okay. So it seems that the information Poolister provided was fairly accurate. I mean, it's not 100% one-to-one because he hasn't been with the Aethar for a few days. Um, and there are the natural kind of ways of things that change when on guard duty, since it is usually a pretty boring job. But generally, you see people where you expect to see people. You see them moving in ways that you generally expect that they would be moving. And you notice that nobody seems to be paying attention to this hole in the church.
Is there like a roof on this church?
Yes. The church is mostly intact. There are a few like holes in some of the walls, but because the demolition crew had kind of started doing some things, but they did not get far.
So I would have Keelflu fly down into the alley between the house I'm in and the church, uh, and fly over and like land where the hole in the wall is.
The hole in the wall that you guys intend to sneak in through, or one of the holes in the wall where the demolition crew seemed to have started their work?
The hole that we're thinking about sneaking in through.
Okay. So it is completely dark, but Keel Food does have echolocation, and
Yep.
so he is able to utilize it to get a sense of the dimensions of the room. Uh, it seems to be a fairly nondescript room, somewhat small. Uh, Probably not quite a storage closet, a little bit bigger. Uh, and there is a door.
Okay. So I would have him just fly back to me then. And I would make my way slowly across the floor again and try to shimmy out the same window I came in.
Okay. Roll me a percentile. Okay. You managed to shimmy successfully.
Then I would start heading towards that crowd that everybody else went to.
Okay.
Job, Job.
So one of the hard heads, like, are you just like waving and trying to get his attention, or are you trying to cross the line that the hard heads have created around the perimeter?
No, I'm not trying to like get. I'm not trying to get through. I'll stay at the perimeter.
Okay. Um, so Job comes over by you, clearly looking annoyed, and asks, uh, "Ma'am, do you know this man? Is that why you're calling for Job?"
Your Job.
No, I'm not.
How long have you not been Job?
I've never been Job. My name is Gob.
I was like, look over to Chaz. I'm like, "You have a twin?
I don't know, bro.
Where
Him,
were you
but from a
born?
different universe. We already solved this mystery. We just didn't realize that's what we were talking about.
There is a moment you see a moment of recognition, and he's like, "Wait a minute, you're that crazy lady that was like trying to assault me the other day, crying and being like, Job, Job, what are you doing?"
Crazy lady.
Yeah, never met this woman in my life, and then she starts coming up to me, calling me Job, saying I'm her dead husband.
Uh-huh. Yes, of course I
Nuts.
said this.
So, oh yeah. So I'm no. So
I don't have
you're
a
just
picture, so I don't look like this.
right, right. So let me back up. Uh, yeah, you're that crazy lady that's calling me your husband and saying that I died. Clearly, you're nuts, and I'm alive. You need to stop harassing me. If you don't, I'm throwing your ass in jail.
Well, you can find me at the ubiquitous Wayfarer any night.
I just like I will look to Chaz. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Like I said, I don't know. I just like shift back into this form. I'm like, listen, she's looking for some information.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell, bro?
Because you can't stay in a lie. It just doesn't work, especially in another person's face.
Uh, give me a strength check.
Strength check. How about
Yes.
no?
Give me a strength check. He forcefully pushes you to the ground and says, "Get out of here, or I'm throwing you in jail." Dobrin,
I,
give me perception or investigation with advantage, whichever one you
Um,
prefer.
that'll be perception.
Okay. Let me send you a message.
I was about to say, I think Cadeau's eyes might go black. Say, why don't you back up, buddy? I cast suggestion.
Hold on.
At least he was just pushing you. I thought he was arresting you.
Right.
We ain't got there yet.
I still have, even in that case, I would have the suggestion available to me.
All right. Sent. All right, kiddo. Um, you posted the spell. Okay. Hmm.
I mean, the suggestion really is just back up.
Right,
How
but
he interprets that is up to him, I
I'm
guess. But
trying to think like, would his partner recognize that you cast a spell? Because there's verbal and material component, but is the verbal component just the command?
that's what I imagined.
Where is the woman that I'm looking at?
Uh, okay. Give me a stealth check. I mean, you have pass without trace, so you're gonna have a high likelihood of success. But this
Well,
is going to
I,
be
I suppose
well, no.
the real question is, does pass without trace still persist for the 6 seconds it takes me to cast the spell? That's also concentration.
I'm gonna say yes because the spell in my head, well, no, the spell ends the moment that you begin casting the other one. So you're right. Pass without trace would not apply, but it's still going to be a fairly easy check given the nature of this spell. I just want to see is there do you
Gotcha.
critically fail? Or do you fail
No.
hard enough that it draws the attention of his partner?
Wow. Incredible.
You do not fail hard enough to draw the attention of the partner, as far as you can tell.
I
Um,
mean, the goal, the hope is, even if I was caught, it's a fairly innocuous command.
Yeah.
okay.
Like he just shoved me down. I said, back up.
So
But the eyes go black during it. That might stand out to somebody, but
okay.
That's not even part of the spell.
I know.
It's just, he's a
Uh
witch. Burn him.
He's a demon. Supernatural fan out there. Uh
They're all over
so
the place here. What do you mean?
so he backs up, although his eye, he doesn't even notice that he's backing up. It just seems like a natural thing to do for him. He backs up, you know, to his partner who seems to be examining the body, and he says, "Look, lady, whoever you are, lady, he, what, it, she, thing, however you gender yourself, if I see you again, or if I get the sense that you're around again with whatever form you take, I'm throwing you in shackles.
This is a crazy thing to declare to a random innocent person. Who's that?
Continue. I dare you. Continue to obstruct in our investigation. I dare you.
I even broke the plane here.
Dobrin, so Dobrin would like to use his telekinesis, uh, part of his psionic power, to lift up a rock that's about baseball sized and launch it at his head, but from coming from behind. So like the opposite direction of where Cadeau's at.
Post the ability.
Towards the guy, his guard,
Ah.
Job/Gob.
Yep. So the telekinetic movement. And so it doesn't, the first time of casting it, it doesn't cost me a psionic energy.
Mhm. You're doing the telekinetic movement.
Yeah. So I think I can move a rock up to 30 feet. And if he happens to be in the path of that 30 feet, then it would strike him.
Yeah, but I think that the telekinetic movement is supposed to be more like mage hand uh than something to deal damage. If you wanted to do that, you would have to do the psionic strike, I think. Uh
Okay.
wait,
I mean,
wait, let me so you're trying to hurt him?
I'm trying to like distract him
Yeah.
from
Okay,
it, but like, with like a painful distraction.
but not meant to do damage.
Yeah, not meant to do damage.
Okay.
Just enough to get his attention.
Okay. Uh so that does get his attention, and he then uh he brings his fist up and pounds on his chest plate, which then glows, and the other harmonium armors begin to glow. And those of you who have been in Sigil long enough understand that this is a call, and more harmonium are about to swarm the area.
You're muted, Tony.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of silence.
I don't know if I even noticed that it's Dobrin that did this. I'm like, what the hell? We're gonna have to get out of here, guys.
Well, we're just provoking the police. What could go wrong?
Right.
Though they're on their way.
I'm just suddenly picturing that one monologue from Brennan Lee Mulligan where he's like, uh, anyone want to cook some bacon as he gets his Molotov cocktail ready?
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna be swarming this place. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
No,
and
no.
the one that's doing the investigating gets up, and the two others that are there begin physically pushing back the crowd and getting out their batons and starting to smash people. You do see the one that are Job or Gob.
Mhm.
He wants to step forward, but he turns around and then begins pushing off people from the other direction. And Kudo, you would know that's because his suggestion is still active.
They're calling for help, so we should get out of here. I was like, lead them away to someplace relatively safe. I suppose perhaps on the other side of the church, because it's that was the harmonium. Who's occupying the church right now again?
Aethar.
The eighth art.
The eighth are, so they're not going to be necessarily leaving, though they might, I suppose, if enough of a harmonium presence shows up, perhaps.
Well, it's a few streets down from the church.
Yeah, but this call for assistance or whatever um, would only be called by other harmoniums, right?
Only other harmoniums would respond.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm like, yeah, we can go. I'll just lead them away. Like, you guys decide. I don't know where you want to go. Did you learn anything about the place? I'd like to through the meth.
I like to think I haven't even gotten there yet. Like after you leave, that's when I'll wander up and the cops will just start beating me.
Poundy McPounder face, come help me!
Walking while
Yeah.
blue.
That would be funny too. I can't imagine my character would get his name wrong, but if I'm just screaming for Poundy McPounderface and no one comes, I'd have even a bigger grudge.
Oh yeah, McPounder's son or something like that. That's
Yes.
what it was.
Um, so yeah,
If we're once we're like far enough away from like people, I would let them know. I'm like, that's the spot where I was at whenever I did this. Like hold up my hand. Seems killer. I don't know.
So what does it mean then, bro?
I don't know. I couldn't get a good look at the guy. And then they called for backup. Now I may never know.
Yeah, I would go wandering into the crowd as they're pushing it back. Like, what happened here? Trying to see by people.
at that moment, you see a
You
few
know, maybe you've got
harmonium.
credentials that they're okay with, and you can be like, I'm with this investigation company.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it would work. The Harmonium probably doesn't really care for private investigators.
Yeah.
You hear a bunch of them shout, "Disperse!" Uh, and then they just start beating people indiscriminately.
Yeah, that would be enough to get me to change direction.
I would assume we would find like some kind of there's a bunch of abandoned buildings. We just kind of take some shelter in one of the buildings or something, not the one we just went in.
I mean, there are
That's
also
assuming
shops.
Yeah,
those other houses might be as torn up as the other one we were looking at. So
that's true.
Yeah, the other abandoned places, they're much more um locked down than the ones near the church, which would make sense in that the church has never really been noticed before. Uh, it from at least from the reports that you've gotten from other people, and so um, it's possible that they're in part abandoned and dilapidated as they are because people also didn't notice them as a side effect of not noticing the church.
Hmm.
Dustin just said his internet is acting up, or the harmonium are swarming around his house.
it's got to be one of the two.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. They cut the comms. Uh, do we have anything to see if we can get a good look at that body, bro?
I think Udi does.
How visible are you people?
Well, I'm guessing we caught up. I mean, we would notice you in the crowd. We wouldn't say, "There's the rock thrower."
He did it. Just like point to a random person.
So, I mean, yeah, if I see you, I'd make my way in your direction
Okay.
and tell you what I saw, the adjustments to the guard schedule, that the hole in the wall that Hoolister pointed out leads to a store, or what looks like a broom closet on the inside.
Hmm.
See,
But then, yeah, I would send Kielfu out to at least get a closer look at the body, have him land like on the roof next to the body, take a look at it.
What are you looking for?
I mean, cause of death would probably be the first thing it would occur to me to look for.
So there's no apparent wounds on the woman's body, but I mean, from Kilpu's vantage point, he's seeing her face up on the ground. Who knows what her back looks like or what she might look like beneath her clothes.
So then I would look secondarily for there are no wounds, but I'd still look to see if there are any other signs of struggle, like if there's any tears in her clothes, or if it looks like this is somebody just deposited her body here, or maybe if this is where she died.
So there's no obvious signs of struggle, no tears in her clothes. I guess I'm curious when you say you are trying to determine whether this is a spot that she died or if she was brought here. How do you imagine you would know the difference?
So, I mean, I guess it's not like dirt around, so we can't see that there are drag marks. So maybe I can't. Maybe there is no sign.
I would let you do a check. It's going to be incredibly difficult, but I would let you try.
Okay. What do I roll?
We'll do investigation.
Oh well. Very middling.
Yeah, you have no way of knowing whether she was moved or this is the spot where she died.
So is she like human? Something
She
else?
she is what is she? She is a Goliath.
So that's interesting, at least. She is very large, very heavy, which might suggest that she wasn't dragged very far, though there could have been multiple assailants.
I will also say she does appear to be well dressed, not out of the like so well as to be out of place in the lower ward, but she does look nice. She clearly does appear or care about her appearance. She has very long, thick black hair, uh, and she may be wearing makeup, although it's not necessarily accenting the kinds of things that a human would accent with lips and cheeks and blush and stuff. Gilfu also does not see any obvious jewelry. Um, so there's that as well.
She doesn't have one hand mangled.
Mm-mm.
So I would call him back and then relay that.
Hmm. Maybe it's just coincidence.
It could be unrelated to what we are working on.
Well, that's the spot where I did this.
Really.
Yeah, very same.
And this happened to you last night.
Yep. Yeah. I woke up there. And in fact, they might have, like, I threw up over there and everything. Like,
Now I'm wondering how long she was dead.
can't have been very long. Well, at least she wasn't there for very long.
Unfortunately, the guards seem very agitated, so they will not be letting us near the body.
No.
Uthermeth, through Kilfu's eyes, with his vantage point, he does notice, and you by extension, that uh, the dustmen, the corpse collectors,
Mhm.
seem to be on their way.
They are going to take her body very soon. Though I do not want to get cudgeled by the harmonium, which is what they're doing to other people there right now.
Yeah. The signs are apparent. Somebody threw a rock at the guy's head. I couldn't tell.
I wonder why.
I mean, I don't know. He was being kind of an asshole. I'm not too surprised.
They are easy to upset.
Might be probably worth telling. Damn it, what the hell is her name? I'm bad with names. The woman,
Penelope?
Penelope. Yeah, yeah. I mean, probably should just tell Penelope to move on.
Why would we do that?
Well, I mean, she was trying to talk to that guy,
Which
whether
guy?
the guard that looks just like her husband. He
Was
was
he
over
there?
there.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, shoved me to the ground.
why would he do that?
It's complicated. It's fine.
In any
Suffice it to
event,
say,
I
he didn't seem like he really knew her.
well, but we've run into other people who were raised from the dead, given a new identity, joined a faction, and
Yeah,
weren't that interested in returning to their old life. Although it is possible that this man simply wanted to be rid of her, and so concocted this story.
either way, I think she should move on.
I am not sure that our explaining to her that she should get over it will help her to get over it.
I just, as long as we express to her that this man very clearly does not seem to have any desire to strike up any relationship with her.
I'm wondering if there's not some sort of legal avenue she could take. Surely, if they are married, then he must have some legal obligations to her.
Uh,
It may take several months, but I'm sure the authorities could look into it. There's always Uthermath's plan from last time where Cadeau just, forms a relationship with her and lives with her for a few years and then pretends to naturally pass away, spare, sparing her feelings.
but she still lives in the air. She'll see the other one.
That's when we bust out oh, that must be a clone from another universe. Parallel, parallel dimension.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe if she,
His name is one letter different. Can't possibly be her husband.
it's probably spelled the same. Like in Arrested Development.
Yes, that's exactly what I was referencing. The opposite of Arrested Development, where he wants to be called Joe, but people call him Gob. I figured full reverse.
um, if I call him George Oscar, will he respond? Or
You'll have to find out.
I don't know. Next time we see her, we can maybe if she pulls a similar tact as I convinced Dobrin to do, and she approaches him level-headed instead of hysterical, maybe she'll get better luck. At least get to talk to the guy.
It doesn't seem like he wants to talk to her.
Seems like he might arrest her if she ever talks to him again.
Yeah. And maybe arrest anybody that facilitates this woman.
It's
Seems
fine.
like an abuse of
It's okay. I
power,
got
but
spells.
Yes, the Harmonium are never known for abuse of power issues.
so I'm gonna have to call it pretty soon. I'm beginning to
Yeah,
fall asleep.
same. Uh, we could wrap it up there. make sure that it's